Hello students, back again. We're going to talk about lesson 2.5 today, and it's multiplying with decimals. I just saw some of these funny little comics that I thought kind of applied. This one's kind of funny. It says, "We had decimals today and I think they followed me home." So you can see that kid that he's all covered with decimals. But he probably has something a little bit more sinister than decimals. He's probably got measles or chicken pox or something like that. So anyway, kind of a funny one. This one I like because it applies with what we're doing today. It says, "I forgot where to put the decimal, so I figured I'd cover all the bases." And yeah, that kid just put decimals in everywhere in the answer because he didn't know where to put them. So hopefully after we get done today, you'll know where to put the decimal when we're multiplying. All right, so here we go. For your bell work today, you are taking a quick quiz that is about fractions, multiplying and dividing fractions. So there will be no bell work today. In fact, you can cross off Monday's bell work on in your journal. All right, so if you'll turn to page 40 in your journal, kind of those pinkish purplish colored papers, you're going to see at the bottom of the first column, it talks about multiplication. And right here it kind of gives you the steps for how you would do this. So you're going to line up the factors vertically. So one thing that's different about multiplying decimals is that you don't have to line up the decimals. I know in addition and subtraction we did, but in multiplying you don't. So we're just going to go 4 and 71 hundredths and then 2 and 8 tenths like that. You can see I didn't put the decimals in the, in line, so there's no need for it. Then you're going to multiply right to left. So we're going to start here with this 8, and we're going to multiply 1. So 8 times 1 is, I'll change colors here so you can see 8. And then we are going to go, just like you've learned back in 4th and 5th grade, we're going to go 8 times 7, which is 56. And then we're going to go 8 times 4 plus 5. So 8 times 4 is 32, plus 5 is 37. Okay, so that's the first step. We just took care of the number that's in this one digits, or actually it's the tenths, but what we would usually call the ones when you're doing regular multiplication. So right here, this 8, we just took care of it. We are now going to go and write a 0 in the ones place right here. We are then going to go 2 times 1 is 2. I'll just bring it down right here. Then 2 times 7 is 14, and we put the 1 up here and the 4 right here. And then we are going to go 2 times 4 plus 1, which is 9. So we'll put the 9 right there. And now we're going to add those. If you look here, it says add the partial products, and that's what these are, is partial products. We're going to add them. 8, 8. 7 plus 4 is 11, and then we have 9, 10, so 13. Now this is where it gets different when you're dealing with decimals than regular multi-digit multiplication. You're going to count the decimal places in the factors. So that's talking about up here. So watch very carefully what I do. I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit to this so you can see it better. I am going to even change colors because I want you to see what I'm doing. I'm going 1, there's 2 places. So 1, 2 places for the decimal there, and there's 1 place for the decimal there. So 2 and 1, that's 3 decimal places that I'm going to count over. So I'm going to start right here and count over 1, 2, 3. That is where our decimal goes. Because I counted 1, 2, 3, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's where the decimal is. And the way that I say that number is 13 and 188 thousandths, because that last number is in the thousandths place. So fill in, hopefully you were following along and writing in your notes as we were going along there. But that is how we do multiplication with decimals. So let's practice that now. All right, so here is your practice page. So let's take a look at a couple of these and try them out. So I am going to look at number 2. So we're going to follow the same process that we did back in the notes. We're going to go, okay, 6 times 8, that's 48. Then 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then we're going to count over 1 decimal spot because there's only 1 decimal spot. So we go right there, and we have 22 and 8/10. That's pretty simple when you're dealing with just 1 digit. Well, it can get a little bit more complex when we start dealing with, let's do number 6, because that one actually has 3 on the bottom. But we still, if we follow our steps, it works out to be just fine. So I'm going to make that bigger so we can see it really well. So we're going to start right here and go 6 times 1 is 6. Then we're going to go 6 times 9 is 54. 6 times 8 is 48. Plus 5 is 52. So I'm going to go 52. Then I'm going to put a 0 in the ones plot. Then I am going to go right here. 2 times 1 is 2. Then I'm going to go 2 times 9 is 18. So I'm going to put that 1 up here, 8 here. Now I may want to cross that 5 off so I don't get confused, huh? So we have 18. Then we have 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1, which is 17. Now, because we do, you know how we put a 0 here for the ones place, because we were multiplying from this spot here. So this spot right here, well, there's 2 to the side of it, so we need to put 2 zeros on this next spot line. So 0, 0. Then we're just going to do our multiplication like we always do. So 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 9 is 9, and 1 times 8 is 8. Now let's add. These are our partial products. So we have 6, 6, 11, carry the 1, 10, plus 7 plus 5 is, let me see, 10, that's 20, was it 22, 10, 22, long day, guys, 22, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we have all these numbers now, but remember our last step is to go 1, 2, so there's 2, 1, 2, there was 2, that's a total of 4. So I'm going to come down here and go 1, 2, 3, 4. So our decimal goes right here. And then if you want to put those little bumps there to kind of help you to do that, that's fine. But it kind of looks messy. So right there, that number is 11 and 2,166 10,000ths. So pretty simple. You just have to get the steps down. You just have to follow those steps and get comfortable with them. So that is how you do some of those. If you're dealing with story problems, it's much the same way. Let's read this. You earn $7.80 an hour working as a dog sitter. You work 12 and a half or 12 and 5/10 hours during the weekend. How much money do you make? Well, this is no more, it's just the same type of problem that we have been dealing with. We're going to go $7.80, and we're going to times it by 12 and a half. And then we're going to multiply. So 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 8 is 40. 35 plus 4 is 39. Put a 0 on the next line. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 8 is 16. Then we have 2 times 7 plus 1 is 15. The next line, we put 2 zeros. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 7 is 7. Now let's add 0, 0, 15, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus 5 is 17. 7, 8, 9. All right, now we have to move the decimals, remember. So we go 1, 2, 3. So 2, 1, that's 3 that we're going to be moving it. So let's move it 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So it goes right here. So it looks like you made, now how do we say that in money? Because that's what the story problem was in. Well, we made $97. And then it has 500. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, that's 5/10. So if I have 5/10, that's like 50 cents. Do I really need those zeros in my answer? Well, they were part of the problem here, but not really. We can just erase one of those zeros. I've erased 2, so it's $9.50 is my final answer. That's a pretty good paycheck for 12.5 hours playing with dogs. So anyway, give number 8 a try on your own. That one's a little bit harder because there's they have some zeros there, but you can give this one a try and see if you get the right answer. All right, so you should have got 1 and 4,620 10,000ths as your answer. That means that bacteria, it got bigger by, that much. So anyway, this multiplication of decimals, it pretty much follows the same steps over and over again. So let's look at your assignment for a moment. All right, so you're looking at this assignment right here. I'll read through it. I really want to know what you guys know, so I'm not going to go through and answer all of these, but I want you to try some of these on your own. So if you know that 12 times 24 equals 288, how can you find what 1 2/10 or 1.2 times 2.4 is? Well, you can see right here they're the same numbers, right? The only thing that's different is these decimals right here. Now remember back to what I said about moving the decimal. What you moved 1 here and 1 here. So really, all you have to do is move the decimal over a couple places and you have your answer right here. So explain in words what I'm talking about right now, and you'll have the answer to number 1. Is the product of 1 and 23 hundredths times 8 greater or bigger than or smaller or less than 8? Okay, so let's talk about this. We know we're timesing it by an 8. This number right here is 1. Well, what's 1 times 8? 8. Well, this decimal, this 2-3 right here, what does it really mean? It's actually a fraction. It means this, 23 hundredths. So if I 8 times the 1 and I 8 times the 23 hundredths, is it going to be greater or less than 8? I gave you a big hint there, so give that one a try. It wants us to put the decimal point in the product, so remember, we're counting over however many decimals here and here and putting that together and then counting over that many here. And now it wants you to multiply and then use estimation to check your answer. So I'd like you to just multiply. When we're talking about estimation, we have to kind of we're thinking about, kind of like in this problem up here. Okay, I had 7 times 16. Well, what is that? And then a little bit more. So see if your answer is correct according to your estimation. But yeah, you do need to solve these. Look at that one. All those zeros. Do you think you can handle all these 0 times 0 answers? I think you can. Give it a try. There is an error in this problem on number 7. You need to find out what that error is. Okay, these I'm just going to tell you right now. These right here are just multiplying the numbers. You have to set it up on your own. You can kind of see that we set them up here for you. You have to set them up and then multiply. Same with right here. A bamboo plant grows about 1 and 25 hundredths feet each day. Find the growth in 1 week. Well, guys, I'm just going to have you cross out 1 week and just go, well, that's 7 days, right? So you're going to times by 7. And then down here, number 10, Alabama has 2 and 51 hundredths million acres of cropland. Florida has about 1 and 15 hundredths times as much cropland as Alabama. how much cropland does Florida have? So that's another multiplication problem. So you're just multiplying these. So set those problems up, multiply, get your right answer. All right, guys. I think you can handle this this assignment now. So give it a try. Remember to enter your answers into GoFormative. There are videos there to help you from Mr. Kurtz if you need them. Also, don't forget to do your MobiMax. You need to do your MobiMax every single week, 45 minutes. So that is part of your homework also. So make sure you get that done. All right, guys, till next time.